What are the key questions you would want answered about that? Step one. So I need 3-4 key questions from each group in 5 minutes. Off you go.
Anything just been found from just walking through the field to make people think that there could be something? You know?
Yeah, I don't know if it's
is there any history?
Yeah.
The information comes in, we've got the aerial photograph, we've got the maps. Yes, I can cheat and go look at heritage scape, etc., pull the information, but the best way to do it is look at the maps, look at the information, ask the question. There's some questions you should ask every time, and it determines whether you can carry on looking forward or say it's natural. It's not really good looking at it.
Obvious things at the moment, like whether it's registered on the national database and there's a scheduled known sites or
existing features on the landscape.
Existing features now it integrates with those part of them. Does it form a context with the features? What resources?
So what do we want to find out inside? How deep is there archaeology? You know, what's the topography?
Your key question was?
Who owns the site?
No, archaeology.
Oh, right. Period of structure.
Let's start with archaeology first, then we'll do practicalities. Date. Your question was, Paul?
History of finds.
What is the backstory of this field? We're going to go in there. You'd be rather stupid to wander in there if Tim, in the back of his records, has got a thing that says, this is a Victorian sewage line. Which on Facebook happens a lot, you know. So that's a very good point. This group, archaeological goal.
Evidence of any buildings?
Evidence. You're going to look to, you're going to look to see if there's any remains. On the surface there isn't any. It's a wheat field. Right, next one from this group. Come on in, Dennis, don't worry, walk around, don't worry about walking in front of cameras, completely allowed.
Is there any...
This is Dennis, by the way, everybody, one of the TT-12's most famous best cameramen, just so you know.
Is there any historical information available? So, documents?
Background history. Yeah, okay. This group?
Considering the size of the site, what period does it represent? I.e., what period had structures that large?
Okay. Now, I think it's an interesting thing you say what period, because effectively one of the issues about this is, if you see something here that I think it'd be fair to say most people would look at and think Roman in this area, it's a very interesting question. We've got one of the best people in the country coming in at 12 o'clock, Helena Hammerman, who's an expert in Anglo-Saxon. What's she doing here? It's worthwhile remembering that if the guys send in a picture like this that screams Roman, it's not a bad question to say what other periods. And in fact on Time Team we quite like multi-periods because it develops the interest. Okay. Now remembering we're doing archaeology here, has anybody got one that's a goal that we might put, that we might get a question we might want to answer with a trench or a test pit or a shovel pit?
Are there any walls or surfaces, ground?
Okay. Is there any structure there? If you're a farmer and you've been growing parsnips here for the last 100 years, you want to know how deep you can plough. And a scheduled ancient monument consent that might be applied to this would sometimes help the farmer to manage it by working out the depth. The depth. Who said depth? Simon, you're reading off your list, are you? That's a good one. I mean, that's a critical one. Extent, depth. So we know this, the background story.